Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka. Please permit me just a few minutes in your space. If we must build infrastructure in Nigeria, we must build infrastructure projects that catalyzes economic development, boost wealth creation and productivity in the economy. There is no mistaking it that in 2007, a global infrastructure development master plan was developed with the help of the World Bank that clearly stated that to move Nigeria from a third world economy to a top 7 second world economy, we must attract capital investments into this economy to the tune of $3 trillion over the next 30 years. That is $100 billion sustainable investment in the Nigerian economy for the next 30 years, $100 billion every year, and it's something we can do. A Goldman Sachs report projects that Nigerian economy will be the 4th or the 5th biggest economy with a GDP of $13 trillion by 2074. I even feel it is too far. In 2054, from now to 2054, we can, over the next 30 years, if we are serious, we put in the right physical and constitutional framework, put in the right people, the right creative mind in the right places, in the place of authority, we can easily build a $13 trillion economy by 2054. 2074 is very far. It's no big deal. China in 1993 had an economy that was sized $444 billion. As at that time, US economy was $6.8 trillion. The Japanese economy then was about $4.5 trillion. The Chinese from 1993 to 2023, period of 30 years, built up their economy from $444 billion to $17.5 trillion, a whooping over 13,000% growth. The Japanese tanked in 30 years. The Americans grew only by about 304%. The Chinese were able to grow their economy, leveraging on their population and their creativity by 13,000% from $444 billion. If the Chinese can build their economy from $444 billion to 17 trillion naira in 30 years, Nigeria can easily build our own from the current $447 billion to $13 trillion in 30 years. If we put in the right physical, constitutional framework in place and put the right people with the right mind at the various commanding height of our public place of authority, from the local government to state level to the federal government level, we can do it. But we can't do it with the kind of infrastructure projects, white elephant project that we are trying to embark upon at a very inflated cost, atrociously inflated cost. We can't do it. We must have to do it. Coastal road of 700 kilometers at a cost of 15 trillion naira, $13 billion is outrageous. First of all, what impact assessment report was conducted? How is 700 kilometer coastal rail project going to affect and boost economic activities in Nigeria? Not only is the project cost outrageous, Nigeria is not the only place where coastal road had been done. From America to Asia to China to every other part of the world, coastal roads have been done. Massive coastal roads. Coastal roads are over 1,000 kilometers. Some of them passing through tunnels. Some of them passing through undulated, mountainous areas. And we know the average cost of doing those projects. Why will we do 700 kilometer coastal rail project at $13 billion? What impact assessment was done on this? And what are the cities through which this roads will pass? Let me tell us the truth. If we want to build projects, infrastructure projects that catalyze economic development, that boost wealth creation and productivity, we must look at infrastructure projects that will add value. And I want to advocate again for those in authority who has refused, who always think about their selfish interests, who always talk about how they will over-invoice contracts so that they can cream out things into their pocket. See, let me tell us. The EFCC chairman, Olukoyede, said clearly that between 2018 to 2020, over 2.9 trillion naira was stolen out of Nigeria at the federal level through over-invoicing. And we know how come with such a massive project, there's no transparency, there's no e-portal, where such breakdown of the BOQ or detailed cost estimate is put in so that people can see it and interrogate it. And let us not digress. For us to do projects that add value, we must consider the impact assessment. And I want to counsel now that the biggest infrastructure that we need in Nigeria are rail projects. See, Rather than wasting $13 billion, 15 trillion to do 700 coastal road projects that will not have so much value, that will even be told in such a way that you even pay 3,000 naira. But it is going to be an elitist project. Such projects will just be for those who have money to ply that road. If you want a project that catalyzes economic development and that catalyzes productivity, we need to consider doing a rail project. That amount of money, that $13 billion, will build us brand new double-lane standard rail projects that from Port Harcourt to Owerri, to Onitsha, to Aba to Owerri, to Onitsha, to Asaba, to Benin, to Ore, to Shagamu, to Jebode, to Lagos. Of course, it's already done. All the way to Kano. $13 billion will build us brand new standard rail project, double lane from Port Harcourt, linking to Lagos all the way to Kano. It will link the 4 major commercial hubs in Nigeria: Aba, Onitsha, Lagos, and Kano. We've done the numbers. The Lagos to Port Harcourt rail line will unlock over $5 billion investments, product activities annually. The Lagos to Kano will do the same thing. If we do this project, it will unlock over $10 billion into this economy annually. The passenger traffic on the Lagos, Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, or all the way to Port Harcourt per annum is about 500 million. The cargo traffic is about 200 million. We know global today in Nigeria, the cost of a cargo ton per kilometer in Nigeria is about 120 naira. If we do this rail project, it will crash the cost of cargo ton per mile to 50 naira. Even at that 50 naira, that rail will be done under a 45-year design, build, operate, and transfer framework. We've done the numbers. We don't even need to borrow to do this. This 13 billion will do this 1,600 kilometer rail project under a PPP framework that involves the federal government bringing nothing. And then the states will only contribute 1%. Private sector investors and Nigerian citizens, both at home and abroad, will subscribe fully to it. It's a project that has a payback period of less than 10 years, 7 years. Investors will reap returns for the next 30 years and will expand. And based on that record alone, the success of that project, we can do the other 5,000 kilometer rail network, crisscrossing the rest of Nigeria, even through the coastal ways, under very transparent, accountable, private-public partnership arrangements that are so transparent. Rail projects that will not be told. Rail projects that will reduce traffic problems in Nigeria. Rail project that will reduce cost of transport. Rail project that has capacities to unlock nothing less than $10-20 billion in terms of economic activities. We will have some states that have the buoyancy will now have sports linking to their communities, to their local government areas. There's going to be massive competition. Farmers in the hinterland will produce their things and ship it, and we will have access to Port Harcourt seaport, to Lagos seaport, even to Kano. Who are the cities? What are the? Can you list the cities that? What is the benefit of a coastal rail project? A beautiful sounding project, a country that is home to 20 million out of key school, a country that is home to 197 million poor people, a country that is home to all out of banditry, insecurity, and economic hemorrhage, is wasting time trying to waste 15 trillion naira to do coastal rail project that even be told at 3,000 at every point. Who is advising these guys? Please, Mr. President, and whoever is involved in this project, that $13 billion will do us 1,600 double lane standard gauge rail project under a PPP framework that does not cost Nigeria nothing. If you don't know how to do it, we will teach you, we will structure it, we will design it, we will help you. We will raise the $13 billion to Nigerians in diaspora. The transparent structure will be so clear. All we need from government, the governors, is to give us right of way. And for the government support it. atrocious to want to do 700-kilometer coastal road for 15 trillion naira. There is no excuse. There is no. Nigeria does not need a 700-kilometer coastal road at that atrocious cost for whatever. The impact assessment does not catalyze the economic activities. Go and check it. A rail project that cuts off that does not include the 4 most viable commercial centers in Nigeria is a rubbish project, and we know this. Let us do it right now and let us fear God more now. Haba. We must not put our selfish interests above the communal and collective interests of the rest of Nigeria. Let us do the right things now. Haba. Are we cursed? God have mercy.